This is the new Citroen Grand C4 Picasso. It's built on the same chassis that underpins its 5-seat sibling, and it might just be the most stylish way to transport 7 people. The styling shares its cues with the smaller Picasso, with slim daytime running lights at the leading edge of the bonnet and these headlights lower down. It's not just a pretty face though. In fact, this is one of the most practical cars in its class. This boot is as big as in most rivals, and you can slide any of the middle seats forward to increase the boot space further, though this can have a big impact on legroom. And with both the second and third row of seats folded, the load space is vast and completely flat. The one niggle in the boot is this load bay cover. Compared to the simplicity of the seat levers, it's quite fiddly to remove. Once it's out though, the rearmost seats can be raised with just one hand. Accessing the seats in the third row is easy. Pull this lever and the middle seat folds and slides to give you a large space to climb through. Kids in those seats will be happy on longer journeys too, because they get a proper footwell rather than just a flat floor, and their own air conditioning vents too. The middle row is just as practical, because unlike in some rivals, all of the seats are the same size. This means you can get 3 child seats side by side, and it's also perfectly comfortable for adults in here too. Up front, this classy dashboard is identical to that in the 5-seat version. There aren't many buttons, instead you get this colour touchscreen. It looks great, but it's sometimes a little bit slow to respond, and we prefer separate controls for the air conditioning. You do have to go for either of the top 2 trims to get this large screen that sits at the top of the dashboard, but the good news is that equipment levels across the range are generous. Every model gets Bluetooth, a 6-speaker stereo and USB connections. The amount of glass used around the cabin means that visibility is excellent and the cabin is flooded with light. You do have to pay more to get this glass roof on all but the top spec model, but every Grand C4 is a great place to sit. You can choose from petrol or diesel engines, but this is the 2-litre diesel with a 6-speed manual gearbox. It's punchy and pretty efficient, but most buyers will choose the cheaper 1.6 diesel. The way the Grand C4 drives is adequate but nothing special. The manual gearbox is rather notchy, and the ride is also fidgety over the majority of roads. The engines can be a bit noisy too. So, while some rivals are better to drive, the Citroen packs superb practicality and economical engines into a classy, comfortable package. For more information on the Citroen Grand C4 Picasso, head to whatcar.com. And while you're here, don't forget to check out all our other videos and subscribe to the What Car channel.